guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Chapter 6.5 Notes, Part 2. Today we're going to be talking about graphing linear equalities in two variables. Our learning target today is to be able to graph linear inequalities with horizontal and vertical line graphs on the xy coordinate plane, and to be able to write linear inequalities with two variables from a graph on the xy coordinate plane. So, one of the things we need to remember is that not every inequality that can be graphed on the coordinate plane has two variables. Okay, this is like the special cases that we had when we were doing just graphing linear equations. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about horizontal and vertical lines. So our directions say to graph the following inequalities on the coordinate plane. Now, if we remember, when we have a y graph, that makes a horizontal line. Okay, so when it's just y equals, we're talking about horizontal. But then everything else is the same. If we remember, the slope of a horizontal line is 0. Our y-intercept for this, 0, -2. That's where that -2 comes in. So now we need to know, is this going to be solid or dashed? Okay, another way to think about it is this open or closed, because this one is closed because it's got the line underneath, which means it's going to be solid. Okay, and do we shade above or below? We shade above because it's greater than symbol. So both of these we find out from that symbol right there. Okay. Yep. So let's go ahead and graph this. At -2, there's our point, and it's closed. And it's a solid line, so we're just going to draw that line. And then we said to shade above or below. That was above. There you go. And there's the graph. Let's look at the next one. Y is less than 6. Okay. Slopes of horizontal lines are 0. The y-intercept is 0, 6. Is it open or closed? It's open circles, which means we're going to have a dashed line. And do we shade above or below? Well, that's the less than symbol, so we have to shade below. So at 6, we have an open circle, and then we have a dashed line. Okay? And then we said to shade below. Okay? And there you go. So let's go ahead and look at the next one. Now we're dealing with x graphs. Okay, when we have just the x variable, we know that this is going to make vertical lines. Okay. Now the slope of an x graph, if you remember, it's undefined. And does it have a y-intercept? There's no y-intercept, okay? So now the rest of the information, we need to look at the inequality. Is it open or closed? It's closed, which means it's solid. And now we have to realize it's not shading up or down because it's a vertical line. So we're going to be shading either to the right or to the left. This is saying less than is to the left. Okay? So at 5, we have our closed point. It's solid. We get a different marker so we can actually see this line a little better. And we said to shade to the left. All right, next one. Once again, the slope is undefined. There is no y-intercept. It's open, so it's dashed, and it's greater than, so we have to shade to the right. Okay? So at positive 7, we're open. We're going to have a dashed line. And then here we shade to the right. And there's your graph. Okay? So when we're doing this, we need to pay attention. Is it going to be a horizontal line, or is it going to be a vertical line? So let's go ahead and take a look at these. 5, 6, and 7. I want you to pause the video and see what you get. Okay? Good luck. All right, and there are your 3 graphs. Just remember that when it's x, it's vertical, x, vertical, and then this is horizontal. Okay? And if you need to remember to write that it's solid, or that you shade to the left, or that this is dashed and you shade above, okay? All that's fine. I would recommend doing that just to help you out, okay? So the next part of this lesson is we're going to start working backwards for this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to have to look at what the graph says and then figure out what the inequality is, okay? So looking at the 4 questions that we have to ask, that's going to help us. So the first thing that we need to find out is what is the slope. So the slope is from left to right. We're going up 3 over 2. So there's our first part, okay? Next, we want to know what the y-intercept is, and that's right there, and that's 1, 2, 3, -4. So as a point, it's 0, -4. So already we know there's a y, we know there's an x, we know our slope is 3 over 2, we know the y-intercept is -4. Now we just have to figure out what the inequality symbol is. Okay? So, is the line solid or dashed? Well, it's dashed, so that's open. And then did they shade above or below? They shaded below. So, and that is less than. So if it's less than and it's open, it means my inequality is the less than symbol. Okay? All right, number 9. Going through, first thing we need to find out is our slope. So from one point to another, it's down 2 over 2. -2 over 2 reduces to -1. Okay? The y-intercept right there is at +2. So that's 0, 2. So we know the y, we know the slope is -1x, and +2. And for all you lazy bums out there, remember you do not need to write that 1. Okay? So next question, solid or dashed? Well, we have closed circles and we have a solid line. Okay? Did we shade above or below? Well, from here we shaded down, so that's below, which is less than. Okay? So we're going to have less than or equal to. All right. Number 10, 11, and 12 are all yours. Go ahead and pause the video and see how you do. Okay, and there are the answers. So looking at your slope, it's down 3 over 2. The y-intercept is at 3. We have open dashed line, and we shaded above. Okay? Just be very careful when you're counting your slope. Okay? That's 1 over 5 positive. There's negative 2 y-intercept. It's a solid line. And once again, they shaded above. Right. And for number 12, this is a horizontal line. It's dashed, and they shaded below. And that's how we got all the symbols in the equation. Okay? Well, that's going to be it for Algebra 1, Chapter 6.5 Notes, Part 2. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you need help, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself, because we would love to help you out. Thanks for watching.